Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Thanks so much for starting off your Tuesday with us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. Well, I don't know about you, but we've been talking all summer about the fact that we haven't quite reached 100 degrees here in Spokane, at least. But we've got our meteorologist Thomas Patrick here with us. So Thomas, we can't really discount how hot it's been despite that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how hot was it yesterday in terms of the feel? Pretty hot, and it was 94 yesterday, and that's actually a bit lower than the initial forecast, but it still felt more than hot and just kind of sweaty outside, right? So today, same story, if not maybe just a couple degrees hotter. Forecasting 96. It's not a record high. It might not be to extreme levels or that triple digit mark, but it's still going to be very, very hot one way or another. Now, the areas that are going to get to 100 degrees, now listed as extreme heat warnings. That does include Moses Lake, Wenatchee, Chelan, as well as Lewiston. Those areas did get upgraded from the advisory to the warning criteria, which is that more severe criteria overall. In addition to this, tomorrow, we will likely have red flag warnings. They're fire weather watches for today and that day advance, but looks like tomorrow will be a high fire danger day in addition to the high heat. So weather impact alert day for these next 2 days because of the heat and the winds overall, with today's high temperatures yet again in those mid 90s to around 100 degrees.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact right now from I-90. You can see traffic flows are moving great. We're not seeing any problems on your Tuesday morning commute. The sun is beginning to rise. Grab your sunglasses. It is going to be toasty today. We'll keep a close eye on the traffic impact all morning long. Here on Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes.
Well, at last night's Central Valley School Board meeting, they were considering joining a lawsuit against Washington's Superintendent of Public Instruction. The lawsuit is about its policy on gender inclusivity in schools, which includes sports.
No decision was made last night. Instead, the school board voted to table any action and come back within the next 5 days. This is a story that we've been covering for a while. You may remember back in May, the school district filed a federal civil rights complaint against the state of Washington over conflicting policies on transgender student athletes. Here in Washington state, students are allowed to compete in sports based on the gender identity that they identify as. The district worried by following state or federal rules, they could risk losing funding. At last night's meeting, there were concerns the lawsuit will not actually happen.
The minimum number of districts that have to be signed on is 15. And if that number is not met, if that threshold is not met, nothing happens and it does not move forward. My understanding is, as of the last time that we were asking, there were minimal numbers of districts that had signed on.
The school board voted to table the letter of intent for a special board meeting. They did, however, pass their resolution to ask OSPI to follow the legal rulemaking process, claiming the state did not follow proper procedures when they created the gender inclusive schools policy and the student discipline policy. KREM 2 did reach out to the OSPI for comment and have not heard back.
Teachers rallied outside the Meade district office yesterday, fighting for new teaching contracts.
What do we want? A fair contract! When do we want it? Now!
Well, school starts in just a few weeks, and teachers still don't have a renewed contract. There are over 600 teachers in the district, and they have been waiting since May to negotiate. Teachers say they are dealing with excessive workloads and say they need more student safety and support for special education.
We are being asked to do more with less, and we are here for our students. We love our students. We got into this business because we love our students, and we want the district to recognize that we can't do the job that they are asking us to do.
In response, the Meade School District said in a statement, quote, "We remain optimistic about the progress we've made and are committed to reaching an agreement that supports our educators, sets our students up for success, and upholds our responsibility to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars."
Right now, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is investigating a homicide north of Hayden Lake. Deputies say a person called 911 and reported he found an injured man on his property and blood on his front porch of his home. That injured man had traumatic injuries and died at the scene. Authorities searched the property for additional victims and a suspect, but nothing was found. The sheriff's office is still investigating.
A staff member at Eastern State Hospital tested positive for tuberculosis. A spokesperson for the hospital says they reported the case on July 30th. The hospital says as of right now, they have not had any other cases, and they are actively testing staff who might have been exposed. Well, if you want to help the family of Sgt Kenneth Salis, the sergeant who died on duty, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is accepting donations for his memorial fund.
The Sheriff's Office says if you are interested in donating, you can go to any Canopy Credit Union branch. They are also accepting donations through Venmo. You can see that QR code on your screen right now. The money will help cover memorial expenses, and any leftover money will go to Salis's family.
Some crazy video here. Take a look at your screen. Really hard to tell behind all of this smoke, but that's actually the Kalispell Airport a few hours north of Missoula. Yesterday, a small plane crashed into another parked plane while trying to land at the airport. There were 4 people on board. Luckily, all of them were able to get out safely. Only 2 of them ended up with just minor injuries. Now, the FAA is investigating.
Some exciting news this morning. The Washington State Arts Commission has named Hilliard as Spokane City and Spokane County's first certified creative district. That's according to Greater Spokane Incorporated. The new title will bring benefits such as startup grants and more funding. GSI says the Hilliard Creative District will serve as a hub for innovation, entrepreneurship, and cultural identity. One of the goals is to boost jobs as well as attract investments.
If you're planning on heading to the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, some bad news, comedian Matt Rife will not be there anymore. He said he is postponing his show until next summer. Rife was supposed to kick off the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival on Friday the 22nd. So if you have a single-day ticket just to see Rife, the festival will now give you a complimentary ticket to see Bert Kreischer and other comedians on Saturday instead. You could also get a full refund if you want, or a complimentary ticket for next year's show. Just go to the Great Outdoor Comedy Festival's website.
We are calling for a weather impact alert today as temperatures will be nearing triple digits.
Of course, the one thing everybody wants to know is how to stay cool in this extreme heat. So KREM 2's Christian Garza is live with us this morning with a few cheap options to beat the heat. Good morning, Christian.
Yeah, good morning, Tim and Nicole. As crazy as it might sound, I know we're talking about it's going to be hot later today, but right now, standing in front of this pool right here, I am actually a little chilly. It's a little chilly out here this morning for me specifically. But like you mentioned earlier, that's not going to be the case kind of going into the later hours of today, and now everybody is going to want a plan to stay cool if they plan on going outside at all later in the evening. But if you don't want to stay inside and you don't have air conditioning, you can go to any kind of local pool in the city or the county, like this one right here behind me, which is Witter Aquatic Center. Now, Spokane has 6 pools, and they're for people who live in the city and are free to use. Now, you just need to sign up for a free splash pass that will let you use any of the pools during open swim hours. Now, today, open swim is scheduled from 1 to 4 in the afternoon at Cannon, Comstock, Hilliard, Liberty, and Shadle. Now, there is also evening open swim at Liberty and Shadle tonight from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, if you aren't near one of the pools, Spokane also has 19 splash pads in parks across the city. Those splash pads are a great way for kids to cool off, and adults as well if they want to, kind of run through the splash pad. They are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, if water is definitely not your thing, but you want some AC, here are a few other options. In Spokane, you can visit any of the city libraries. They're open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Spokane County also has 10 library locations, including Airway Heights, Cheney, Deer Park, Medical Lake, and Spokane Valley. Now, you can also visit one of the malls in the area, and today might just be a good day for you to chill inside of a movie theater and watch something that you've been meaning to go to the movie and see. Freakier Fridays on my list as well, Weapons, a bunch of these different movies. So that's probably where you might find me later today as well if I'm not taking a dip here at the pool. Now, coming up in the next half hour, we are going to talk a little bit more about what signs and what people need to watch out for, especially when they're going to be out in the heat. We're talking heat-related illnesses, all that information coming up in that next half hour. In Spokane, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.